I know a lot of people like to use portable monitors for various different reasons, and I myself use a portable monitor quite often as well. I mean, to extend a display or just to use it as a portable monitor for whatever reason, movies, gaming, whatever the case may be. And I've covered quite a few in the past, and I've had my favorites for sure, but I know my situation and use case may be different than yours. So when the opportunity comes up to take a look at a different monitor and share my thoughts and opinions about it, why not? So today, we're going to be taking a look at a new one from NexiGo. This is the NG17FGQ, which is a 17.3-inch 1080p FHD IPS display capable of 300 hertz refresh rate with 3 milliseconds of response time, and it does have built-in speakers. So to note, NexiGo did provide this monitor to me for purpose of review, but they didn't get to review any of my footage, my thoughts, opinions, nothing like that prior to me uploading. So today, I will be covering quickly the negatives and positives I found with my time using their product. So the monitor, it does come packaged nicely with an included USB-C power brick, a remote, an HDMI cable, and a couple USB-C cables, one with Type-C on both ends, and one with Type-C on one end, and Type-A on the other. It also has a cover stand that is magnetic, so it's detachable type of thing. And I'm typically not a big fan of these types of stands. I mean, for use as a stand, as a cover, typically seems fine. I do prefer when they are built in, as they wind up seeming to me to be more stable anyway. These magnetic cover stands, they give me problems with how they stand up. I've even had one with the cover slide off and the monitor just like tumbled off of my table and got damaged. I mean, it was my fault for having it so close to the edge to allow it to be able to fall off, but that's my experience with them, why I usually don't like this implementation. So the magnetic cover that came with this display, while I can say it's a bit more stable than similar ones I've used in the past, it's still not my favorite implementation for standing up a portable monitor. The magnet holds okay. I mean, it's fairly decently strong. It doesn't slide too much depending on the angle you have it as, but the wider you have it open, the more likely it's just going to fall flat type of thing. And they did include another stand, which is fairly flimsy. It's a little plastic stand. I mean, it gets the job done, I guess, holding the monitor up. But I thought I'd prefer this little plastic stand, but I feel while it's fine to stand up the monitor, it's less stable than the cover due to it just bracing the monitor for like a few inches in the middle of the monitor. So it kind of could wobble. I mean, you could adjust the angle to it, but it could tip over if you move it type of thing. I just really didn't like this little stand. Like I said, I really do prefer when they are built in. Now, besides my nitpicks with the stands, I mean, I guess that was a little bit of a rant there. I do feel this is a really nice monitor. The colors and quality of the screen overall are really good. I had no dead pixels or weird soft spots or, you know, the way the colors were coming through, nothing was weird. I didn't have any bad blacks. Like, it was really nice with the blacks. I mean, they were black. It looks great in my opinion. So the monitor, as I stated earlier, could support up to 300 hertz refresh rate, which is probably one of the biggest selling points here, and was one of the first things I tested to make sure I wasn't being lied to, because you just never know. Never know with some of these brands, man. And it does, in fact, do 300 hertz at 3 milliseconds response time, but it's only via USB-C display. And a lot of devices can use USB-C for displaying out and in and whatnot. I mean, this may be a nice option, but you have to keep that in mind. That is via USB-C only. HDMI does support up to 240 megahertz refresh, which is a good thing. Another thing to note is this monitor doesn't support FreeSync, VRR, or G-Sync at all. The monitor is listed to be 100% of the sRGB color gamut with 1000:1 contrast ratio and 178-degree viewing angle. And the viewing angles are pretty good here. I had no issues looking at it from various angles where you could actually see the monitor, the viewable screen. So that's a good thing. It is quality. I mean, this thing's also listed to support HDR, but I really don't like the implementation with this device and just prefer the standard option. My PC, no matter how I had it hooked up, didn't recognize that that it had any kind of HDR certification and that it was just standard definition. So with the way they implement it, I'm not sure. It seems fairly similar to a lot of other monitors that I've used, these portable monitors. And just, I don't like the way it looks. Some people might, but that's why I tried showing a little comparison there. If you want to see HDR versus standard with the monitor. Now, this thing also came with a remote, and the remote can be used to, turn up the volume, turn it down, access the menu to change different video settings and options. But I feel like I've seen the same menu settings UI on a ton of different portable monitors. I don't know what's up with that, but just had to point it out. I mean, if you go back and look at any of my reviews of any of these portable monitors, I mean, I'm pretty sure most of them have the same UI. It's just weird. I mean, it's fine. It works. But you also do have buttons on the side of the monitor to change the settings, but the remote's just easier to access everything with. Kind of have to be a direct line of sight with it if you're trying to obscure the remote, and it's not going to work. If you have some kind of obstacle in front of the remote, at least from my testing, I couldn't get any of the buttons to work. I had to be pointing directly at it, which I'm fine with. That's just the way it is. Now, you also have a 3.5 millimeter audio jack if you want to use headphones, which I probably would recommend, which also brings me to my least favorite thing with this portable monitor is the built-in speakers. Now, I couldn't find anywhere on their website or on Amazon or anything that has the speaker wattage listed. Maybe I'm just overlooking it, but regardless of whatever wattage they are, I mean, they do get decently loud, but the sound quality is just not great. Had that real tinny sound to it. Some things were a little clearer, but, it just doesn't do a great job. Most of these, little monitors with built-in speakers, the speakers just aren't that great. I don't know if mine just had a bad pair of speakers in it, but I have to assume that's how all of them are. I didn't like the audio quality coming out of these speakers. Now, overall, well, I think this monitor is of decent quality. I mean, the screen is really nice with its picture. I mean, it is just 1080p, which I'm mostly fine with, especially, these smaller monitors. I do prefer a little bit of a smaller monitor than 17 inches. I use one that's like 13 or 15, somewhere around there. But for some people, they may prefer 17. I mean, bigger the better, maybe. That's what she said. I do feel for the asking price of this specific monitor, it is a little much. I mean, I know the refresh rate is a big thing, but I feel at that price, it really should have at least included FreeSync. Now, if you want to check out more details or you're just interested, I'll have a link down below in the description and the pinned comments so you could check it out. Really do appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.